Good morning. Thank you everyone for coming today, taking out time. First of all, we're extremely sorry for the inadvertent delay. We wanted to start the session on time, but the previous group that we met with had a barrage of questions thrown towards us that took a little bit of time to address. Well, all of my colleagues are here to take the message of how to combat terrorism and the role of Pakistan in the ghastly attack on Pahalgam on the 22nd of April. And this is the first time, I would say, in a very, very long time that the country has decided to send a 7 all-party delegation. And we being one of them, there have been other 6 delegations who has been to different parts of the world. Simultaneously, synchronously, there are delegations visiting West Europe, East Europe, parts of Middle East, South America, the United States of America, parts of Africa. And we are very clear in our stand that in the attempts of external force to divide the country, we stand united as a country and we stand together as one. And I belong from the second biggest political opponent party of the country, which has 42 Lok Sabha members with both the houses combined. We are very clear in our approach. We might have political differences when it comes to the rolling dispensation, but when it comes to protecting and safeguarding the national interest and the sovereignty of the nation, we will always work towards serving towards the best interest of the country and the nation. And we are here to take the message of Mahatma. We come from the land of Mahatma Gandhi, we come from the land of Gautam Buddha, we come from the land of the great Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, we come from the land of Netaji. We would be the last one to talk about violence, we would be the last one to talk about attacks. We are a peace-loving nation, we are here to talk about peace. But we have shown enough grace, humility to the neighbor. Imagine every relationship depends on trust, it depends on love, it depends on faith. And if I invite someone and eventually get into a break batting, then the faith or trust or the bond eventually deteriorates. And this has been happening from the last 5 or 6 decades. India and Pakistan are 2 nations which gained independence precisely at 1-day interval in the same year. And if you look at the trajectory of these 2 nations, we are way, way above than Pakistan. And just to destabilize and bring us down, they deliberately planned this terror attack where 26 people, 25 Indians and 1 civilian from Nepal, who went to Pahalgam to spend time with their loved ones. Kashmir is a place which is known for its beautiful mountains, amazing valleys, picturesque views. So everyone went with their family members to spend some good time and come back with a bag full of memories. And what the survivors came with will eventually keep haunting them for the rest of their life. We have been to 3 other countries before coming to Indonesia. We have been to Japan, we have been to South Korea, we have been to Singapore. And everyone we met, starting from ambassadors of different nations, there were think tanks, there were strategic thinkers, there were members of civil society, there were leaders from the industry, high-ranking government officials, law ministers of the government, foreign affairs ministers of the government, home ministers of the government, speakers of the National Assembly. Everyone was of the opinion that we should fight jointly on how to combat terrorism, as this issue is no more an issue of national security for India alone. This has become a global imperative now. Indonesia also has been a victim of terrorism. We all know about the 2002 Bali bombings. And time and again, if you see, wherever there has been a terror incident in the past, starting from 9/11 to 2008 Mumbai terror attacks, where 166 people were killed. And not only just Indians, there were people from 26 other countries as well in that terror attack who lost their life, who succumbed to injuries. There has been connect with Pakistan. Pakistan is a nation who has been nurturing, training, shielding, sheltering, and harboring terrorists. And terrorism today is a menace to the entire world. And killing people in the name of religion, Salman Qureshi is a very senior parliamentarian. He's a proud Muslim. He practices Islam. I mean, the Holy Quran says, and I'm quoting it, whoever kills an innocent soul, it is as if he has slain all of humanity. Violence in the name of faith is a betrayal of faith itself. Every religion that we practice, it can be Hindu, it can be Islam, it can be Christianity, it can be Sikh, it can be Buddhism, it can be any religion. No religion in the world teaches us to be violent, teaches us to attack, teaches us to kill innocent civilians in the name of religion. There has been so many evidence out in the public domain where you see there's clear connect between the terrorists and Pakistan. Now imagine if something happens, if there's a crime today in the streets of Jakarta and the perpetrator is found in your neighbor's house. Now if you have reason to believe that your neighbor is hand in glove with the perpetrators or in cahoots. Now this has been happening repeatedly, time and again over the last 5 decades, one after another incident. The world has reasons to believe, and this time there is enough evidence in the public domain for us to understand and acknowledge the fact that Pakistan has been an explicit supporter, and they are the one who have been nurturing terrorists in their backyard to destabilize growing economies. All of you are acquainted with the fact that India has surpassed Japan and grown to be the 4th largest economy in the world. We are at number 4 now, very soon we'll be number 3. So it's a prime, I would say, example of cutting one's nose to spite one's face. We go down, we pull you down. Pakistan is facing crisis in their own economy, trying to address issues in their own land, in their own country. And India is growing, developing rapidly. And we have been collaborating with various countries. We consider each one of you as our strategic partners, as our friendly nations. We share a common goal, a joint goal towards peace, prosperity. And we consider each one of you not only as our strategic partners, but also as one of our moral allies. We want you to stand for what is correct. We want this to be raised in the important multilateral platforms like FATF, UN, ASEAN. And if you look up the net, and if you read the circulation that has been published worldwide in the last fortnight, India never strike back immediately. The attack happened on the 22nd of April. Did we strike on the 23rd? No. Did we strike on the 24th? No. Did we strike on the 26th? No. 28th? No. 30th? No. 1st? No. We waited for 2 weeks, 14 days. We waited with the hope that Pakistan government will do something to bring the perpetrators to book and do justice to the enemies. Either you do justice to the enemies, or your enemies needs to be acquainted to justice, but justice needs to be done. We wait for 2 weeks, and then eventually India carried out these airstrikes. And these airstrikes were so precise, non-escalatory, responsible, that these airstrikes only ended up neutralizing and demolishing 9 terror infrastructure. We neutralized the terror infrastructure without endangering a single civilian life. That is India. We are firm in resolve, yet honorable in action. Then in the next 24 hours, there were were images surfacing from the land of Pakistan that shook the world. There were images of Pakistan high-ranking military generals and army, and these are not mere pawns, or these are not some small-time officials. They are military generals. Pakistani army generals were seen attending funeral meets of terrorists. These pictures are widely reported. It's for everyone to see. You know, when the 9/11 terror attack happened, who was the prime accused? Osama bin Laden. Where was he found? He was found in a place called Abbottabad. Where is Abbottabad? Abbottabad is again in Pakistan. You talk about 2006 Bombay train bombings. You talk about 2008 Mumbai attacks. You talk about 1993 Mumbai blasts, where a series of blasts were conducted. Every terror attack, there was a hand of Pakistan. Where was Ajmal Kasab, who is the prime accused of 2008 terror attack, was found? He was caught red-handed by the Indian law enforcement agencies in Mumbai. There were 4 years he was given a fair trial. He confessed before the law enforcement agencies. He confessed before the trial court, before the judiciary, that he was raised, he was born, he was brought up, he was nurtured, and he was trained in Pakistan. And India ended up destroying that very same terror camp where Ajmal Kasab was raised and trained. We want the world to stand by us in combating terrorism. It's our joint duty. You talk about Hafiz Saeed, you talk about Dawood Rana. Any terrorist you name, Pakistan is safeguarding them, nurturing them, protecting them. Why? I mean, it's like nurturing a snake in your backyard, expecting it to bite your neighbor. But we don't realize when the snake will be unleashed or unchained, it can end up biting anyone it meets on the way. I've said this time and again, and I will put it again in a different analogy. If terrorism is a rabid dog, Pakistan is a wild handler. Pakistan will end up breeding more rabid dogs till its daughter listen in the language it understands. And we are not talking about violence here. People in the West think that we have not started or initiated in a dialogue with Pakistan. We have been talking with them for the last 50 years. You know, government has changed in India. A lot of things have changed. There have been paradigm shift in everything. Prime ministers have come and gone. The government has changed. The president of the country has changed. But one thing will remain constant is the conflict with Pakistan. They will not change. And we expect all of you to stand by us in combating terrorism. Our stand has been very clear from day one. You fire, we fire. You stop, we stop. We don't want violence. Now, in the last 50 years, there have been so many incidents of violence. And I want to request all of you, Your Excellencies, that India will never want to wage or start a war. We're the last one to talk about war. We have been engaging in a dialogue with them. In 2016, there were attacks in Pathankot and Uri. It's again a place in Kashmir. Pakistan wanted to start a joint investigation. We honored that commitment. But when you give or honor that commitment of a joint investigation with Pakistan, we give them enough proof of call data, records of the terrorist, voice sample, digital evidence. But it's like giving a thief the privilege to conduct investigation in a robbery which he only has committed. So I would leave it to that, and I would request each and every one of you to stand by us as strategic partners in combating terrorism and curtailing terrorism, so that we are able to put an end to this menace once and for all. Thank you.